Hey, what's going on, guys? Oink here, and today we are going to be watching a little run here at Le Mans. This is the 05 version of the track. I'm driving a Ford GT, and I'm driving with my good friends Mika and JK. Mika in the 458, and JK in the vintage Vantage, as he called it. Anyway, we had a nice little run, and it was a pretty epic finish. So that's the race that's going on in the background. I want to first off start out the video by explaining last week on April Fools. So some of you, if you follow my Facebook and Twitter, this is a good opportunity to check those out if you don't already. I posted a link to well, it was an image of an email that I got from Sony, supposedly. So for those of you that didn't see it or don't, follow on the social media, I posted this this image to yeah, like an email that was from Sony, but I regrettably have to say that it was just an April Fool's joke. Quite a few guys on Facebook picked up on it. Kind of to begin with, everyone was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like, "Oh, they're really cool," and then like the end of the comments was kind of like, "Hang on a second, this is probably an April Fool's joke." So yeah, that I'm afraid to say, and it is a bit of a belated acceptance, but yeah, that was just a prank that I decided to do. I just made sure it looked real nice and professional to see if you guys would actually fall for it, and some of you guys did, so that was quite funny. There's a link in the description down below for the image on Twitter, I think, or Imgur actually. I don't know where it is anyway. I'll put a link in the bottom if you didn't see that. Just to go have a look so you can see what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, just to confirm that was a joke, but what's interesting is I'm gonna actually, with the topic of this video, is gonna be kind of talking about actually what that was sort of about, or at least it was sort of implying in that, which was the kind of like the need for some kind of community rep. Like, I know other games have done it in the past, or other developers or whatever. Someone who's not necessarily part of the development process in the physical form, but someone who can kind of identify with the community, someone who's already involved in, the kind of stuff that you see, someone like Jordan, for example, the guy who runs GT Planet, or it's his website, someone like that who's, a prominent figure. Lots of people know who they are in Gran Turismo's community. They trust, his knowledge, his, just, not necessarily him, just anyone, that's in a similar sort of position. And someone that either, or whether it goes through Sony or, directly from Polyphony Digital, but someone, I kind of feel like they, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree, they've got this kind of disconnect with the community, not only with the patches, where we don't really get told what's in the patches, in a physical form like that, but also just in terms of communicating ideas, plans for the future. It's quite clear that there's a lot of stuff that wasn't in GT6 that was sort of said to be in GT6 beforehand, and it's kind of weird because before, in the lead up to the game's launch, they really seem to get involved with like the press. Obviously there's a lot of talk because the game's coming out, so they're answering questions and all this kind of stuff, and then it kind of comes out and they kind of just disappear a little bit, and some might argue that that's a bit of a problem. Probably is a bit of a problem, especially considering that there's still a lot of things that need to be addressed in the game, and also things such as the fact that they had promised this monthly DLC thing and all these different other kind of stuff that just haven't really materialized. And I feel like, I don't know whether it's just the fact that perhaps because they're a Japanese company and they're not that comfortable communicating with a predominantly English audience. I don't know if that's anything to do with it. I'd be surprised if it is, because obviously, they're based at Sony, so, or they're part of Sony, so that, I'm sure they have enough connections in there to be able to market to an English audience. So I'm sure that's not the thing, but there's definitely something there which is kind of like a disconnect between the guys that play the game regularly and they're expecting content and all this kind of stuff, and the developers themselves. So I kind of think like, yeah, this is just more of a, you know, an idea. This isn't, you know, any kind of anything specific. This is just kind of like something that I feel would be good. And you have this person who could kind of, as I said, not necessarily be involved directly with the development of the game, so, you know, they're not actually helping to make the game, but someone who, I guess Polyphony Digital could relay information to. Any, you know, if people had questions, they could send them into this one person instead of just kind of, you know, all over the place on forums, on PlayStation's website, on, you know, on these different message boards or whatever. You could just have this, you know, this one kind of figurehead person who's, you know, very relatable. People can, you know, they know who that person is, and they can send their questions or concerns or anything to that person, and then they can, I guess, get in touch with Polyphony, or, you know, maybe they'd even know it already, and, you know, feed the information back to the guys who are really asking the questions. And I guess also, like, it would help in that regard that they could kind of help with, you know, relaying information regarding patches and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you know, if a new patch comes out and there's a bunch of stuff that isn't clear, that they could help that out. I don't know. That's my idea. Kind of a little bit rambly, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. Whether that you think that would be something that's kind of useful, for, you know, specifically for you guys watching. But if you've got any other ideas, sort of things that you think might be cool that they did, be sure to, you know, leave some feedback. I guess that kind of leads me on to a slightly other topic, which is straight on to patches. Now, there has been supposedly a release date for the next patch, which I think is early next week sometime. I can't remember if it was like the 8th or something like that of April. And according to GT Planet, the only, or not the only, they haven't actually said that it's the only, but the only thing that's actually been sort of confirmed that's coming in this patch, supposedly, which I think is 1.07 now, is a GPS data logger sort of thing. So, like, if you've got, like, a compatible car, like the FRS or something, you know, the CR, I don't know, specific cars, like, you get this CAN ECU GPS thing. I don't really know what it is, to be honest, but, you know, it tracks, like, when you go on a track day, you can import the data. If you go to a track that's in the game, you import the data to GT6 somehow, and it, like, translates it into data logger information, and you can, like, check out all the different stuff and watch the lap back in GT6. Now, I don't know if there's anything else in the patch. I'm really hoping that there is, because this is, like, a thing that, like, 20 people, like, I don't know, okay, maybe not 20 people, but this is a tiny minority of people are going to actually ever even see this feature come into use. Like, I like the kind of, not just the forward thinking, but I really like the kind of the creativity and the ways that Polyphony really kind of, like, push that digital divide. Like, as this is kind of like the whole, like, theme of GT6 seems to be this kind of, like, digital divide, like, between real life and the digital, like, online racing or whatever, like, narrowing. And I really kind of, I like how they do that, but I'm just like, we need something else. Like, there's so much more that needs to be in the game than that. Just because, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a game. Like, we still need our content that everyone can play. So, as I said, I don't know if there's other things coming in the update, but that is something that is to be confirmed. So we can look forward to that. Anyway, let me know. Leave some feedback on what we were talking about in the video. Race is coming to an end. As you can see, it's really closing up here. We were just going for fun, you know, just kind of going casual, but got real close at the end. Coming alongside the 458, and they're all across the line. I think it was like 0.2 seconds between us all, so it was a pretty cool ending to that one. Hope you enjoyed the video anyway, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.